Hey, listen, he said garage.
Watch how this quick-thinking driver in South Africa manages to escape an attempted hijacking. The footage begins with a vehicle speeding on the wrong side of the road before cutting in front of another car, blocking its path. Within seconds, an armed man jumps out. It quickly becomes clear this is a hijacking in progress. A man was targeted while withdrawing cash from an ATM. The footage shows two men approaching a man withdrawing cash. Suddenly, one of them draws a firearm. The suspects quickly turned violent, shouting for money and car keys as they began attacking the victim. After stealing his valuables and taking his car, the victim could only watch as the suspects drove away. Thankfully, no one was harmed in this incident. In this next clip, a petrol attendant puts his own life on the line to stop a kidnapping in South Africa. The video opens with a calm scene at a filling station, but for this businessman, things are about to take a shocking turn. Just as he was about to leave, a car stopped in front of him. Armed suspects stepped out, making it clear this was no coincidence he was being targeted. They dragged him out of his car and tried to force him into their getaway vehicle. But what they didn't expect was that he wasn't going down without a fight. A worker witnessed the incident and took action, courageously stepping in to prevent the kidnapping. The footage reveals a car that's been targeting people on the streets, grabbing phones in broad daylight. Here, the next victim is caught off guard. This time, the same car targeted another woman who was busy on her phone, unaware of the danger approaching. Here we see the same man, wearing the exact clothes from the previous clip, scanning the area before making his move. Although some of these incidents took place some time ago, crime in South Africa continues to rise each year, and our aim is simply to spread awareness. A man swiftly snatches a phone from an unsuspecting victim in Johannesburg, South Africa. The man stands calmly, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He keeps checking over his shoulder, keeping a close eye on his unsuspecting victim. The victim remains focused on his call, not realizing what's coming next. Realizing time was running out and people might start noticing, he finally made his move. The getaway car had been waiting all along. In a split second, he snatched the phone, leaving the victim no time to react. As he was driving into his driveway, a driver suddenly found himself the target of a hijacking. The video begins with a man arriving home in the evening, unaware that he's being followed by hijackers. In seconds, the hijackers closed in, leaving the driver no time to react. The armed men went through the driver and his passenger, stealing all their valuables. Realizing the suspect was armed, the driver stayed calm and complied. Fighting back could have cost him his life. After ordering the men to open the trunk, the suspect searched inside and discovered some valuables. This incident serves as a reminder to always stay alert when arriving home. Fortunately, both the driver and his passenger were unharmed. A shocking moment in Johannesburg, a phone is snatched from a victim just as he enters a store. Surveillance footage captures two men inside a store, the man in black completely unaware that the one in the white hoodie is targeting his cell phone. As he walked out of the store, he noticed another person coming in and seized the moment, grabbing the phone before escaping. A woman faced a terrifying moment while waiting for an Uber outside an apartment in South Africa.
I had my phone in my hand, actually. I cracked my screen guard by squeezing my phone so tight. Oh, wow. And I had my handbag. Normally it's over my shoulders, but I just had it like between, and I had like clutched it like this. And yeah, he just kind of tried to push me toward the car. So he actually didn't even try to take my phone. And the next thing, the door flung open and there was a man inside that tried to pull me in. And he just said, "You're coming with us tonight, lady." And I luckily I'm strong. So I just elbowed him and wriggled around toward the back of the car, but screaming. And what came over me was this lion's roar. I didn't scream from my throat. I screamed from my belly. And I didn't just scream once. I perpetually screamed.
Thankfully, the woman stood her ground and overpowered the kidnappers disguised as an Uber. A heartbreaking moment in Johannesburg, a woman becomes the target of robbers. A bystander recorded this shocking scene. Robbers targeting a woman in broad daylight, while people nearby kept their distance, fearing the armed criminals. A driver was caught off guard while waiting at the traffic lights. While the driver was waiting at the traffic lights, a man approached the car, pretending to ask for something to eat. Suddenly, he smashed the window, grabbed a bag, and ran off. In a tense moment caught on camera, a store became the target of armed robbers. A local tuck shop came under attack by armed robbers. One suspect filled his pockets with cash as his partners held customers and shop owners at gunpoint. Across South Africa, small tuck shops have become easy targets for local gangs. These criminals demand what they call a protection fee, but in truth, it's extortion. A criminal act disguised as business, leaving shop owners living in fear. The robbers didn't just take the cash, they also stole phones, including one from a customer. Fortunately, no one was hurt during the incident. This next video proves how quickly things can happen if you're not paying attention to your surroundings. The group at the table remained unaware of the danger, as a man standing close by kept looking around while pretending to drink. The man stayed calm, waiting for the perfect moment to make his move. With one final look to be sure the coast was clear, he prepared to make his escape. In a split second, he grabbed the phone and jumped into the waiting getaway car, leaving the people at the table stunned. In the early hours of the morning, a car drives past a residential gate before suddenly reversing. It's clear from the footage that the suspects were checking the area before making their move. The suspects opened the gate with ease and stole the motor within seconds. Their confidence suggests they may have been involved in its installation, a common crime in many South African neighborhoods. This video is a reminder of why it's important to make sure your vehicle is locked before walking away. The suspects used a jammer to keep the car from locking and waited for the driver to leave. Luckily, they didn't find anything inside, showing they were after what was in the car, not the car itself. Armed suspects blew up a cash-in-transit van and made off with the money. When police arrived, they discovered a man trapped inside the damaged vehicle.
There is stupid inside. Yeah? How did you get in here? How did you get in? Shame.
In this shocking footage from South Africa, a man repairs a car, completely unaware that danger is closing in. Suddenly, a vehicle stops nearby and a man gets out, heading in his direction. He snatched the phone and took off. This man became the victim of a street robbery after encountering a group of men late in the evening in Pretoria. On a quiet day in South Africa, a driver cruised down the road, unaware of the danger waiting ahead.
Yes, thank you guys. Okay, just one correction. The mountain is much older than I'm
The moment the driver tried to turn right, a man who had been sitting by the roadside suddenly pulled out a gun. In a split second, the driver drove toward him, hitting the attacker to save himself and speeding off. This video reveals the desperation of armed criminals. They first tried to ambush a car that had stopped on the road, but the driver escaped just in time. Frustrated, they turned to a family walking nearby but found nothing. Then they spotted another target, and he wasn't so lucky. An elderly woman became the victim of a frightening hijacking attempt in South Africa. It seemed like just another ordinary morning at the petrol station. While waiting for the petrol attendant to fill her tank, she had no clue that the next few seconds would take a terrifying turn. Suddenly, two men approached the driver's side, moving casually, but their body language gives them away. They don't want the driver to realize she's being targeted. When people noticed the carjackers were armed, they quickly ran from the scene to avoid getting caught in the chaos. The suspects forced the elderly woman out of her car and drove away, leaving her standing helplessly. Thankfully, she escaped without injury. These two unsuspecting men had no idea they were about to be caught in a dangerous situation. What looked like an ordinary bystander turned out to be part of the setup. As the two men passed, he attacked from behind while his accomplice joined in, catching them off guard. After stealing all his belongings, the suspects ran back into the nearby complex. This area has seen many similar attacks on pedestrians. Thankfully, no one was hurt this time. An elderly woman became the target of an ATM scam. She was just trying to withdraw her money, unaware that the people around her had other intentions to scam her. The man in the white t-shirt and the one behind him pretend to be waiting in line to use the ATM, a common trick scammers in South Africa use as they look for their next victim. The man pretended to help the elderly woman, but the way he kept looking around made it clear he was up to no good. He made her enter her PIN and then misled her to another ATM, while his partner quietly took the cash. She walked away believing there was no money in her account. It's sad how could anyone deceive a woman old enough to be their mother. What began as an ordinary day for the delivery crew quickly turned into chaos when a car pulled up and armed men jumped out, aiming their guns at them. In a matter of seconds, the suspects are in the back of the delivery truck, taking the entire load the drivers were assigned to drop off. The suspects keep their focus, carrying on with the theft, completely ignoring the vehicle attempting to pass by. With their car packed full of stolen goods, the suspects speed away. Thankfully, the delivery crew escaped without harm.